Hello, today I want to show you my process to laser a batch of these keyring pendants. They are metal with black color, and I'll show you how to make some of these, but a whole batch. So first, what's the plan? I'll use this piece of wood. It's the standard wood, which comes with the Snapmaker, and you can order it from Snapmaker. I will put the links to all these things below that you don't have to search. So the plan is to cut out holes to fill in these plates. This was just the first try for the settings. If it's gonna work before I burn a batch of them. And then when these are cut out, we have the exact positions already stored in our file, and we can just put these things in, and the Snapmaker will laser them in one batch. So that's the plan. We'll see if we can do this. First of all, these should be 3 centimeters. We're gonna check this, because when they don't fit in, it would be worse. So they're pretty much 3 centimeters, as you see, 2.999 and 29.99 millimeters. So that's okay. We will do our holes a little bit bigger so they fit in very good. To make it easier, when we then set the work origin on the Snapmaker, I mark the middle spot of this plate, and that will be our work origin. Okay. So now we switch to Luban. In Luban, I use the 10-watt laser. We go to 3 axis. I have an A250, so that's the work area of the machine. Now I draw a rectangle and I set it to the size of the piece of wood we use. Here uncheck this one for the exact measurements, and I move it in the way that we have our work origin in the middle, as I marked with a pencil on the wood before. After that, I draw these keychain pendants. They were exactly 3 centimeters, so we go for a little bit bigger, that we can more easily put the pendants in and out. Okay, and now I put it here. I take the logo we want to laser and resize it to 20. Here, leave this checked, because I want the same size like before. So I will go down a little bit. You also can move it with the cursor, because I have here the little hole for the keychain ring, so we don't laser over that hole. If you can't mark something because something bigger is marked, yeah, just click away and then you can mark it. Luban is mostly the easiest way for such things and also the fastest way, but not always the convenient and precision way. But glad I have it for the quick work. As you see, I could do much more of them. Perhaps I should. But I will, so I don't need to arrange these exactly because I will have the positions anyway, because I cut these out, leave the wood inside and give the coins, and so it's not important to exactly know where they are, but be sure not to cut out the work origin, or it will be very difficult to set it if you use it again. Okay, now as we have this, go to the next window and I just take the big circles. Oh, okay, this will be tricky. I just pick the circles and now I create the toolpath for them. I name it cut out circles. It's the basswood, I think that's that comes with the Snapmaker. Okay, but it's not the 3mm, it's the 1.5mm. Just measured it. And now I just use the standard preset and say save. So we have now our toolpath here, and now we do the second one. Now I take these. Looks like I will have to send some more in the back. It would be nice when we copy that the Snapmaker would be so kind to remember. Can I send more in the back? Of course not. So as you see, you can do anything with that software, but it's not always a convenient thing. I've done similar thing before, but when doing so, I just draw this in GIMP, and then you have only one picture. I know some of you are using Lightburn, but I didn't have the time to get into that. But as said, if you draw this one or both in two layers in GIMP, just put them in. Say the one picture is the one toolpath and the second picture is the second toolpath. But I don't know if the size is the exact size then in Luban, so I wanted to draw it in Luban to be sure. Yeah. Now we create the second toolpath, logos, engraving, and we use the standard setting for black anodized aluminium and line filled engraving. Why line filled? Because we have an area to engrave. I would use vector engraving if I just want the outer lines or something like that. Method is fill. We'll all leave here, but here we'll go for 0.1 millimeter and save this workpath. I also save the file. So, and now we can generate the G code. Takes some time. So, in first step, we only want the circles. So I do uncheck the logos. Now I say export. And load the G code into workspace. You see, there are only the circles. And now it's time to power up the Snapmaker itself. Okay, the Snapmaker is powered up. We close our preview. I connect it. Okay, now I send the file to the device. I don't like to do it via Luban, I always do it with the offline device, so I close the connection here and go to the machine. Back on the machine. So now I go to start and we have here the shape we already sent. I go to ready. I always do the manual mode. So now we go to the So now we're gonna show you how I do this. I go here to the files. We have our file I leave the settings, I go to the manual mode, okay, start. Just hit a bunch of times. Be sure not to crash into your workspace. I always try to get it somewhere near the work origin, but it's not necessary to do that. Oh. Now we use our calibration card. So I go in and then I lower it until it gets stuck. Now I'm at 0.1 millimeter steps. Just move. I know it has the auto mode, but as day one adapter, I'm more into the manual thing because there were some problems with the auto mode in the beginning, at least for me. Okay, now we have this. We go to next. Now we got to use our goggles. I close the enclosure. Good. So now you see the laser point. What I do is I go up a bit so I see my marking. I can turn because I wear my goggles. You see the marking here and the laser point. So what I do is I go exactly over that point with a roughly big laser point. As now you can see, we're exactly on the point. And now I lower the laser until the point gets sharp. And for me it's always around, I think it's 1 centimeter. It's okay. So now we set this as our work origin. And now I must say I've done a failure because I didn't set the fan on the enclosure. That would be good. So now we're back in our file. I go to the manual mode again. It's no problem because we've done that before. So I just ignore it. I go to the work origin, and when I go here, voila, it's just where we left it. And now I run the boundaries. Here it won't be a problem staying so low because it's nothing high. Especially with CNC, I recommend to do this a bit higher. And as we saw, this little piece of plastic I printed with the 3D printing function was a little bit in the way. So, just to be sure. I think it looked good. Okay. Then we'll start. So, now it's complete. Let's have a look if I've done it right, if they're cut through and if the plates fit. If it's not cut through, I would just do a second run. So, but it looks good. I just take a knife. Okay. Something thin and sharp to get them up. Looks good. And now, yeah, it's good. Just arrange it. Okay, now that we have our cutouts, we disable this one, go to the engraving toolpath. Again, it takes some time. It's much more easy if you do it in one picture. But yeah, no problem. Okay, we export it to our workspace. And now you see only the logos. Okay. We say, now we have to reconnect. So now it's selected, we send to device, sending to device, send successfully, disconnect. Back at the machine, we do it like before, we go to the file section, we say file, we see here the logos, ready, manual mode, okay. We just ignore it because, as you can see, the plates of the keychain pendants are nearly in the exact thickness than the plywood we use. So just go for this. We go to our work origin and don't touch the wrong button. It happened so many times for me. But you see, it's going exactly to the center. So now next and get it started. The laser is very bright. Also I have the enclosure and also I wear the goggles, so I will now go away from the machine. Please notice the very low operating noise of the machine in terms of fans, because I have the new power supply, and in the back side I switched the standard exhaust fan to a Noctua fan, to industrial one. I also link it down below. It's great job. I also have another one I didn't try for now. It's connected via USB and 3 different speeds, but the Noctua are doing a great job. As I'm also a PC gaming enthusiast and do the modded my case and not modded but built my PC myself, and also used good fans, so I was going for some Noctuas. And as you see, the logos are already visible through the enclosure. It looks great, I think. So, we come back later. Job is complete. Now let's have a look. Great. So, welcome back. Now we have our finished product. It's the logo of the sports club of my daughter. So it's little giveaways for her colleagues, and yeah, I will laser the name of some of them on the backside. But I think you got the idea how to do that, and yeah, I hope I could show you an easy way for doing redoable work on the Snapmaker or in general on laser cutter. So if you have this sheet of plywood, just keep it. Order again these parts to another logo, and you just have to lay them inside, perhaps fix them, and then so that they don't move when the slide is moving, and then create another file with only logos on it on the same positions. You can reuse the old file, just create the toolpaths, laser them, and yeah, ready to go. Just takes some time of tinkering and lasering. Hope you enjoyed it and happy making.